Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out our fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
Greetings and salutations, how's everybody doing? So I'm back to talk about 2 episodes from DS9, in this case, The Visitor and the Hippocratic Oath. Let's look at The Visitor first. In this episode, an accident wave leaves Christopher Benjamin Sicko frozen in time, leaving his son Jake with a lifelong obsession with rescuing his father, having his resolve tested when they briefly reunite every few decades. So Tony Todd plays adult Jake in this episode, and I gotta say, like, the whole episode hinges on his performance as adult Jake. He did a phenomenal job.
I told Dax about what had happened, how it felt so real, not like a dream at all. And she very kindly obliged me and did a very thorough scan of my room. I felt vaguely ridiculous, like a child insisting his parents check under the bed for monsters. She tried to tell me it was probably just a nightmare, and I did my best to put the entire episode out of my mind.
There's been episodes of DS9 where I go, but I'm just gonna have to take it in and just think, wow. This is one of those episodes where you are just going, like, you're just went to silently clap in how great everyone is in this episode, and as well as the story, in that, basically it's a father and son story of a son basically just regretting every day of a moment in which he feels like he could have done something to help his father, and wishing he could go back to fix that moment in time, because every time he does, he feels like he can do it. But every time he meets up with his dad, he's like, wait, like, yeah, I really did miss you, buddy, but, like, what happened to your wife? What, like, weren't you going to continue on with writing and all that? And then that's one thing that ends up happening sometimes in life.
No! Jake, it's over. It's not going to work.
It has to.
Let go, Jake. If not for yourself, then for me. You still have time to make a better life for yourself. Promise me you'll do that. Promise me!
Sometimes we end up focusing on one thing that was in our past, that we don't focus so fully on the future. And sometimes it does, in a way, like whenever we're in pain, sometimes it kind of hurts us to want to be able to move on. And in a way, just see things as, like, differently. Sometimes we might think, hey, I want to follow my passion. And sometimes we do, but sometimes we don't take the time to look around and go, hey, I like that person, or something of that nature. And yeah, I especially thought all this was really good. Every little bit of moment in this episode was wonderful. It was dang good. It was even nominated for a Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation in 1996 for the loss of Babylon 5's The Coming of Shadows, which makes me think I need to see that episode of when we get to talk about Babylon 5. It's even first place of episodes include In the Pale Moonlight and Trials and Tribulations. This was really good. Let's not give it the next one. happened in the Hippocratic Oath? In this episode, which explored the interaction between the medical ethics and the duty of a soldier, Dr. Bashir and Chief O'Brien are captured by rogue Jem'Hadar. So, one of the things that is going on for Dr. Bashir is basically said, hey, by the Jem'Hadar, asked, and they say, hey, do you think you could help us try to get off a drug that we are on to, be able to get off of its effects? And O'Brien is basically saying, hey, we need to get out here. They are saying they need help, but at the same time, there have been viral moments with the Jem'Hadar, in which we don't know what is their true thing that they're after. And yeah, I thought this was really good as well.
How? Using their ship's transporter. They planned this together.
Do you know where O'Brien is? No. Deploy the men in a standard...
He's lying. He's been lying for days. There is no cure here. Even if there was, he wouldn't give it to you.
There is a cure. I am the proof. Now, deploy the men in a standard search pattern. Find O'Brien and return him to the holding area alive.
Alive?
I like the dual ideas going on. Like, say, Dr. Bashir doing the best he can as a doctor to help his patients. And at the same time, O'Brien's going, say, hey, I want to be able to help my fellow friend, Dr. Bashir. And at the same time, how can I do this? It's because he's thinking it in a soldier way of hey, how do we get out of here? We are stuck here. And at the same time, there have been so many moments with the Jem'Hadar that suddenly he's going he's only thinking of it from one perspective, whereas Dr. Bashir is thinking of it say, hey, the leader of this group is going say, hey, I want my people off this thing. I really need help. And so yes, Dr. Bashir is very from the doctor aspect in a way, so it's fairly interesting. Two different sides. At the end of the episode, O'Brien shoots the thing that would have helped produce a cure for them, but say the lead Gar, I believe, he basically says hey, I understand. I need to take care of them. I need to protect them. So basically he says, you guys can get out of here. Anyway. And basically at the end of the episode, Dr. Bashir and O'Brien, they end up, saying, hey, they understand from each other's perspective, maybe we're still going to be friends, we're still going to go play darts. Let's, just take a time off. But overall, I thought both of these episodes were fairly well done. The acting from both of them were good. The cinematography was great. They're both fairly memorable episodes to check out. See you next time.